whole showing my face thing, Spirit has been like, get out there, and there's this whole mental conversation that's been going on, and I've been talking about it with some other folks, healers, and Black folks in general. Spiritual practitioners, that there's this like fear, deep fear of persecution, of being exactly who you are, not just, the spiritual side of it. I mean, it is all spiritual, but not just the spiritual side of it, right? This ancestral and past lifetime lineages, no matter, because we're different iterations of ourselves at different times. And it's interesting, what's been coming up is that it's so interesting to feel the cross over of different lifetimes. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but like, say, for example, in a past lifetime, I was Black. I've been Black in many lifetimes. I think it's a reward. I think this time is going to be a reward for many Black folks. And to come back at this time is really a blessing. If you can recognize this such, and recognize yourself as such, to be able to tap into the blessings that are going to be bestowed on us. And also not just Black folks, but folks that have been the most marginalized, right? So queer, neurodiverse, those with mobility conditions, all of the mental health conditions, all of that. So there's been this fear of persecution that's been coming up, I think, for a lot of folks, as it relates to how they feel about being open and self-disclosing all of their intersections, all of their identities. It's interesting because I was going to come on here initially to say, I'm feeling really blessed, a little frenetic, but blessed. I'm facilitating a retreat. Talk about full circle moments. I'm facilitating a retreat for Black CAP, Black Coalition Against AIDS Prevention, for AIDS prevention. And the community that this retreat is for, so it's up in Algonquin, and this retreat is for my community, more particularly me, like 20 years ago. So, Black queer Sheena, and I think the ways in which all the ways in which I needed support, and really to a beautiful intersection of like my lived experience, because I grew up, my mom was awesome, my parents were awesome. I grew up being a girl guide in a sea of white folks, and a pathfinder, and a brownie, and camping, and doing all that like outside nature stuff, and I love it. But I was oftentimes the only like Black girl, or maybe my sister, if my sister was there, if she hadn't aged out of the group that we were in. So it feels like it's very cool that it is happening just in the light of the new moon, of the equinox, of Pluto moving into Aquarius, of Saturn moving out of Aquarius. I feel really blessed. it's a 1 in 10 women that are affected. And I know a lot of women, we manage things silently. I mean, a lot of folks do, not just women. And it, affects all folks that have a womb. But to talk about how things like Reiki and or cannabis or plant medicine, mindfulness, have supported me in my own journey, for me to strengthen myself, to be in my own self, my own advocate, which is so important in any situation, whatever condition you manage, to know your own body so that you can advocate and say, like, this is what's going on. But if we can't, like, identify with what's happening in our body, how can we describe it or explain it to someone else to get the support that we need? Anyway, so much coming up, but overall, I feel like I just wanted to say and share that I'm grateful, and I hope this weekend is a blessing for you. I feel like it will be for me in a variety of ways, but just an affirmation from Spirit, God, my ancestors, that I'm blessed and abundant and prosperous. And sometimes, I think too often we think of that as having money, when it's really much more around having enough and having the right things. It's not just having things, it's having what is right for you. Because if you have a lot of things and it's not the thing that you need, what does it matter? Anyway, feeling really grateful. The sun is shining. There are blue skies. Anyway, wishing you all the love and blessings that you are seeking and that you desire.